Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Ultimate General Gettysburg. This will be episode number 5, which is actually battle number 4, because we're on the morning of day 2, after the first 3 battles. So, yeah, this is it. The day 2 in the Gettysburg, the actual battle for Gettysburg, I feel like was the really crucial one. That it really set the stage for the Union to be able to hold. You had... Let's see, let's use this one. I think this is going to be the most accurate one. The other two are not accurate because the Union didn't actually hold this far north. Actually, the Confederates didn't move this far east. No, well, Ewell might have been over there, actually. But the main fighting that happened in Gettysburg was all on the western side with Longstreet's corps. And specifically what I want to talk about today is how the 15th Alabama squared off against the 20th Maine to take Little Round Top. So I don't know if this is Little Round Top, it looks like a big hill. I don't know the exact geography well. I just know based on like maps, they were usually like tactical drawings, so they weren't, it wasn't the actual terrain. But if you can find Little Round Top and then Big Round Top to the south of it, then I can map the whole line from there. But I don't know where they are, so I can't really map the line. Anyway, in the second day, this is, like I said, I think the pivotal day. And we had Pickett's charge coming up on day 3, but that was just carnage. Really not a fair fight, and there was no real risk to the Union there. So, first thing we have to mention is probably that Sickles was the commander in the South. He had a whole bunch of forces that he decided to push all the way out to the west into the open area, into the open plains. There was massive carnage. I think it was a terrible decision. I think most tacticians would agree that it was. It was like it wasn't like I don't know if you would say he disobeyed orders to do it. He was given a command to hold the hill. Now technically you can hold the hill if you hold the area in front of the hill, which he kind of moved in front of it, so maybe he was thinking he would do that, but I don't really understand why he gave up his really tactically defensive position. It's a mystery, and maybe we'll never know, but... Anyway, so let's see. He moved out. Sickles himself ended up being shot up, wounded in the battle, lost a leg. A lot of soldiers died. I don't think it was exactly a Union defeat, the fact that he pushed out into it wasn't like terrible defensive terrain, but there was I think he could have done a much better job defending if he had stuck to the high ground. So... we had a lot of back and forth going on in the plains and stuff, but all the while, Sickles had left Little Round Top and Big Round Top almost abandoned, except for a few signalmen, and, just not much was left holding there. Big Round Top, and that's where enter the 15th Alabama, commanded by Colonel Oates. He moved up onto Big Round Top, and then he noticed, after taking it, that now Big Round Top, despite its name, is actually lower in elevation than Little Round Top. It's just fatter at the top. So you can imagine like if this is our sea level, you can imagine the one further south is maybe a lot wider and lower, and then Little Round Top was shorter but taller. Taller but narrower. So once he saw Big Round Top, he thought, oh wow, if we can get up to Little Round Top, first of all, Big Round Top was also further away from the flank of the Union. So he wanted Little Round Top because it was closer to the squishy innards of the Union line. But not only that, Little Round Top was taller, and I guess it offered supposedly a better vantage point for firing, especially with like artillery. But most of all, Little Round Top was just a very defensible position, and that's why it was chosen to anchor the Union lines. And then Sickles pushed out from it. So Oates saw it, he wanted to go take it, but luckily Meades had dispatched a general to the south to kind of check on things, and he noticed, this general, I forgot his name now, but he noticed that that Little Round Top was basically abandoned, and he demanded that Meades, didn't demand, he requested, or, at least informed Meades of the situation, and Meades sent the 20th Maine, commanded by Colonel Chamberlain, over to help hold Little Round Top. And that is where we enter the fun. By the way, I of course haven't mentioned it in the first 5 minutes, but this is the the normal intro. This is not just the normal intro. This is the extended intro because it's the beginning of a day. So I'll do this as well for day 3. But other than that, we'll just be picking the battles. So when Oates and his 15 Alabamans started pushing towards Little Round Top, they got there only 10 minutes after the 20th Maine and Colonel Chamberlain arrived to defend. And I believe that the Union forces were pretty significantly outnumbered, but they had much better defensible terrain. I mean, Little Round Top it's said a lot that it is very defensible. Now, a little blurb about Colonel Chamberlain. I really like his backstory. He was a professor, and he was denied leave to go to the war. So he took his sabbatical, supposedly, to Europe. But actually what he did is go enlist in the army. And that's pretty cool that he was that determined, that patriotic. So, and then after he joined, his men really liked him. He was a good orator, well-read. He studied tactics, I think, on the fly. And tried to do the best he could. You know, he wasn't an army man his whole life or anything, but tried to make the best he could with what he was given. Now, during this battle, Little Round Top's going on, I know that the 20th Maine was losing ammunition fast, and Colonel Chamberlain had this moment of indecision where he knew that they couldn't hold forever because they were outnumbered, and although they had done a really good job repelling Alabama multiple times, positions had been taken, and then they would retake them. Really serious, heavy fighting. And he said, we either must retreat or we must advance, but it cannot be the former, yet how can it be the latter? So, you know, basically saying, like, it's impossible for us to retreat because then we give up on the Union army, we expose them, we can't do that. But it's impossible for us to advance. We don't have the ammunition, we're outnumbered. Seems like a fool's mission to do anything. We're just in a hopeless situation. And he came up with this maneuver. Now, earlier in the battle, he had kind of sent off his forces to a stone wall to the east, about southeast of Little Round Top. And I don't know what happened with those men because they aren't really reported in the fighting. But I think that maybe they suffered from a bit of cowardice and they just held their position. They didn't, while the hill was being held, maybe they didn't think the situation was that dire. Who knows? But during this maneuver, they actually joined in. But Chamberlain sent some of his forces to do a wheel. So let's just imagine they're here. They're holding the line like this. They have the right angle. And he sent some of his forces out to the further east to just wheel. So you just imagine a line pivoting slowly around a turning point. And that's what he sent his forces to do. And this was it was like a desperation move, and it worked beautifully. The Alabamans, the first ones, started surrendering. The other ones in the back were running away. That's when the company to the east joined in, and it was a slaughter. Instantly, it turned the battle, and it won it for them. The 15th Alabama, some of them captured, said they had never been licked before. And they also said, we've never met the 20th Maine, and we don't want to meet them ever again. So it's really a great moment. Colonel Chamberlain, he has several memorable quotes throughout the war, but in my opinion, because Gettysburg is, like I said, one of the crucial battles in the Civil War, for me, I feel like this quote is the most, really the most memorable one to, I don't know, it fits the moment, and it fits not just this day at Gettysburg, but I think it fits the spirits of the men involved in the Civil War in general. And that is this quote, which I actually have written down, so I'll just read it. This is what he was saying in the midst of the fighting when he knew that the 20th Maine had an impossible task, and these were his words to them. Stand firm, you boys from Maine, for not once in a century are men permitted to bear such responsibilities for freedom and justice, for God and humanity, as are now placed upon you. I really like that quote. It's obvious that Chamberlain was a learned man, but it's a beautiful thing that they were given the responsibility that very few men are allowed to carry, that very rarely rears its head. And in this moment, all they can do is stand, not just physically, but you're standing for what you believe in. And I really like that. So let's move on to the strategy part. Launch a counterattack on the northern ridges. We have we basically lost Oak Hill. We remember last time, or Oak Ridge. This is Oak Ridge. We lost Oak Hill earlier. So we can try to counterattack to the northern ridges. Or, an interesting thing, we can counterattack to Benner's Hill. And thank you, somebody also mentioned that the briefing in the previous mission actually misrecorded this as Bayern Hill or something. There was an alternate name, but it just means no, that was Bloker's. They gave it a separate name for the knoll, but those are the same. That's the same landmark as Bloker's Knoll. So here we have Benner's Hill, currently held. That's a tough hill, but there's not a whole lot of cover, so it's not a bad idea to counterattack there. The really interesting thing to me is I've never seen this far east on the map, so that's really cool, and maybe why I want to consider doing this one. The last one is to continue a defensive posture, defend Seminary Ridge. Now let's actually take look at the writing. This counterattack would be a bit tough, I think, because as defendable as we found, or defensible I should say, as we found Oak Ridge to be, it's going to be the same way for the rebels. So that's going to be a tough nut to crack. We lost the northern ridges yesterday, but still hold Seminary Ridge and the high ground south of town. The Army of the Potomac is still arriving and being deployed at the cemetery. We can launch a counterattack on McPherson and Oak Ridges to push the rebels back. We must act now and regain lost ground. Otherwise, we can launch this attack on Benner's Hill. I think I'm going to choose this option. We lost northern ridges yesterday, but same writing. We can launch a counterattack on Benner's Hill, capture the eastern hills, and then advance north. We must act now and regain lost ground. Or the last one is this defensive thing. Obviously, I think we are much better off in the defensive positions, just letting them come to us. But at some point, you have to take the fight to them. So when should that be? We'll consider doing it now, but let's find out what a defense would be. We didn't manage to hold the rebel advance. Our men are tired and morale is low, but we still hold Seminary Ridge and control the town. The rest of our army marched all day to arrive on time, and there are still units en route. We do not know where exactly the enemy will attack next, but there is no need to take risks. We should fortify the position at Seminary Ridge and wait for the rebels' next attack. Should we defend our position, General? Warning, the enemy may make a decision that will force us to fight elsewhere. Really interesting. I don't know what this also makes me want to choose this last option, because I wonder what that means, that they may attack elsewhere. I really like that mystery. So I guess the two options for us are to attack Benner's Hill and to defend Seminary Ridge, because I like the mystery. And this is a gosh darn tough decision. The only thing I don't like about this is that they say we didn't manage to hold the rebel advance, which obviously isn't true. Based on these two, we know we did, but that's obviously the next closest option the game has chosen to give us. Kind of a tough decision, though. Well, I think this one makes sense because the Union would be interested if this is like kind of what Longstreet's plan was, to move the forces east. He didn't want to attack into the Union. He wanted the Union to force the Union to attack into them. Probably because he knew firsthand what had happened at Fredericksburg. I think it was his line which gunned down so many Union soldiers. Oh, it's a really tough one. This one kind of acknowledges our victory the most, but I really like the fact that this one may force us to fight elsewhere. Although I don't like defending. It looks like this one kind of gives up the actual seminary position as well. Whereas this one, no, okay, so this one holds it as a line right through the middle. This one's a little further south, yeah. I wonder if we hold it. Alright, well, let's be aggressive. We've already done well. Let's push the advantage. If I was a general, I think this is the most... maybe this isn't the best way to attack Lee, but let's do it anyway. Okay. So, good decision, General. They'll never see it coming. If we move swiftly and capture Benner's Hill, not only shall we expand our right, but also bring pressure against the rebels. Your task is to attack the rebel right, capture Benner's Hill, and roll up their left. General Slocum with the 12th Corps has been deployed on Culp's and Cemetery Hills, along with the elements of 1st Corps. 2nd and 5th Corps have already been dispatched and will soon join your attack. It is important to push the rebel left to the north, because they will then be forced to withdraw their right flanks as well to prevent a gap forming in their line. Good luck, General. Okay, so it looks like with the starting forces, basically nobody is off to the east and we can just push forces around. The danger here is, of course, if we push too far east, we spread too thin and they can punch through our lines. I expect, based on the numbers I'm seeing here, total victory. Total victory. I will be happy with nothing less. As we can see, this army, let's see. So we have 1st Corps Reynolds. I want to make sure I look for Reynolds. It was pointed out to me the last time I'm not using my generals enough, and this is absolutely true. I can use my generals to reinforce morale a little bit more. We'll get reinforcements as well, but okay. I don't really need to see any more of this. Let's get to the fighting. All right, let's take a look at what we have here. So they start us outside the town, which is a little bit strange. I wonder where the Confederate forces start exactly, because we held the town. I think the only natural is to go and retake the town first. We'll do this. We'll basically reestablish our lines, which we already had and now have unfortunately lost. Let's turn on the... yeah, we can definitely take Benner's Hill, though. I don't even know if they're there yet, so we're going to push in very quickly. We'll have a lot of supporting forces. Okay, now this is the trick. Another trick is let's keep... Oh, God. He commands everybody. Okay, so we need to keep this guy where the fighting is most intense. That would be good. We can get over there. And I imagine the fighting will be most intense. Where are you going? Here. Okay. Let's get you to change. Well, you'll be a reserve unit, I guess. Yeah, so I guess the most intense fighting is going to be in the east. I suspect we'll be able to take that. Actually, the earliest fighting might be here. So since he's probably the fastest unit, we'll move him up with these guys who might take fighting first. And then we'll shift him east by the time we get some fighting over there, ideally. I think that these guns, it's best if we just put them on Culp's Hill, because that's a massive hill and we should have a good range of fire from there. Although Kinsey will probably put him in this middle ground. And you are probably good where you are. So we'll leave you there for now. Okay, good. So let's get going. We don't need to waste any time this time. Plan is not that complicated. Okay, let's look at Hancock's 2nd Corps is here. Caldwell's division is marching to the north. Well, we'll let that happen, and then we'll take advantage of what we can when we see them actually on the map. I think I want to push this gun forward as well. 12 Corps, our generals are actually scouting right now. Because we don't have any other units. Let's get these guys to run. We won't have Candy run, though. Now, they're pulling back a little. Does that mean that they know that there's men there? Men that I can't see? Uh-huh, there they are. But that's actually not horrible. Let's get these guys into decent cover. I think that should be good. Iron Brigade's on the run, but is at a run. Let's move them a little bit over because Candy's just going to be a little bit slow and arriving. We can't push him. His condition's a little bit too low already. Although we can get... I want to get Vinegar into the... Or, sorry, Winnegar into a better position. These guys just hold this line, and we want this gun to be able to pound them constantly because of the held position. So, can we sneak him in anywhere? What about something like this? It's a little strange, but he'll be right on a hilltop, it looks like. So we'll get him over here. Okay. Anybody who can run, by the way, should. You guys are at the run. Good. Oh, okay, so there are a lot of forces coming in from here. Oh, Avery, but Avery's way down in numbers. Yeah, it's nice that the battle... I don't know if I would call this dynamic or it's sustained or something, but it's really nice that they keep the number of units. They carry over. Avery doesn't stand a chance, and he's about to get pummeled by Ruger. Oh my gosh, look at that. Holy cow. Their numbers, oh, they just got eaten up. Now Lockwood has made it all the way to Benner's Hill. We're actually taking it much earlier than I thought. Okay, well, at the run then, since he's already taken it, that means we want our guns to push right up to Benner's Hill. No delay. Okay, yeah, we'll get Kinsey, who is a little bit lighter on the men anyways, to just hold up here, and Winiger will move up to the hilltop as well. Because Ruger's obviously going to route these guys. Iron Brigade going to be in good position to route anybody else who comes in. We'll just have them hold right at the train tracks there. Okay. Very defensible position over here, but we won't need it immediately. Okay, here comes Cross, Irish Brigade, another one. Iron Brigade is also Irish, I think. And they're retreating. Whoa, nope, we didn't actually want to left click that. So now Cross is not going to do whatever he was going to do. He's going to have to follow my orders. Well, that's fine. We're going to get all these newcomers to roll up the right side the most. I'm just going to tell them to move, let's say this way to start. And we'll see where we actually need them from there. Because I'm pretty confident about us holding the left side. So let's try to fold up and over. This looks like really good ground to push in on, and we can almost attack from the east or even northeast side of Bloker's Knoll. Assuming all we need to do is hold with the Iron Brigade and Candy. Come on, man. Okay, McDougal. Anybody who's at a run, we need to slow down from a run. Except for these guys who just charged the hell forward. This is awesome. Great job. We're just moving in. We're catching them completely off guard. I would say in the previous battle that we were probably up against a worse AI. Again, didn't really feel that they took advantage of some of the places. Like in the south, we were routing a little bit, and they probably could have pushed in a little bit harder. So it's really interesting. What kind of foe are we up against here? I think we have a good spread. If McDougal can get... Okay, we were winning Benton's Hill. That's fine. I expected that. The more important thing, though, is can we inflict massive casualties? Come on, Candy. Get into position. Don't make the Iron Brigade do everything. Now, where's our 12th Corps? You need to shift over to the right because this is where the fighting is going to happen. This is where the fighting already is happening. They're at... Okay, let's see. We were winning Veterans Hill. We've secured it. The batteries of 5th Corps are approaching. Very good. Oh, they're approaching from down here. That's fantastic. We're already getting full division over to support the east. So that's good. In fact, Green, I might need you right here because it looks like a lot of guys are coming through in here. We can fold around them, though. Okay, Lockwood, your new orders. Oh, God. You're at... No, just rest exactly where you are. I don't care what you're doing. Just rest. And this is really where 12th Corps would be useful, but come on. Wait. No. That's Kinsey. Oh, stop. Not you. You, I probably want right here. I wonder if they can shoot. Does he have any vision? Oh my God, he has vision from here. Perfect. Then you're doing exactly what you should. So that's good. We're taking some battle. Oh, we routed. Okay, that's where you're needed then. Okay, Kane, move forward a little bit. Got to support these guns. Got to support them. Got to support them. How are we doing? That's fine. McDougal didn't take that many losses, just a little bit. And we have our general. I'm being much better about that this time, as I should. So just get into position. They're forming up a line. It looks good. I think we're up against a better foe this time, which I'm happy about. Quite happy about. All right, McDougal, this is your opportunity to rally. Although we can get Green in there. I really am happy about the guns, though. And Kane's in good position, good cover. Not the best. Lockwood, they're coming for you. So you're going to have to pivot. How's the guns in the south? There they are. Okay, so where's the good ground? Obviously, very high. We have Wolf's Hill. I don't think anything actually happened this far east. I don't remember what happened with against Ewell. Obviously, the main fighting was in the west, southwest, I think, in particular. Pickett's charge later would be against the west as well. I mean, on the west. I think we just moved these guys directly north. Are they still moving? Yeah. I don't know where else to move them. I think we just shift them directly north, and I'll figure out a better position for them when the time comes that they actually arrive up there. Because obviously those are not good positions I just chose. Okay, Ruger's doing well. He's in good position. We'll let this guy recover a little bit. Why are you doing so poorly? I don't understand. Ah, Kane, very well. Is holding very well. McDougal is recovering. Look at that. The general, I think, helping out a lot with that. So what we want to do is probably work Ruger forward in the next time Gordon breaks, or whoever is here breaks. We want to do a little bit of pushing forward with Ruger, despite the fact that it'll be into less advantageous ground. Gordon looks like he's falling back. Okay, now we have General Hayes' division of 2nd Corps has arrived. It's important to... We're on the attack this time, so I don't want to just sit back and hold my line forever. Okay, Gordon's group is definitely looks like it's close to routing. Let's push Candy forward just a smidge here. Draw Ramseur's fire and then flank him. Hey, hold there. They're moving forward as well. Okay, 2nd Corps artillery have arrived, but we don't really have eyes on what they're doing quite yet. By the way, 12th Corps... So these guys are not part of 12th Corps, so we don't have to keep 12th Corps in this area. I really want to monitor... Okay, you know what? I want 12th Corps to actually go and support Candy, because Candy has such a large number of men. It's about to be attacked on top of that, but... So right now we have the advantage of the guns, and Lockwood is actually able to hold against anything. He's flanking, essentially. So... As soon as Green gets into position, McDougal... Oh, yeah, this is great. Now, Candy... I wonder if this green means that he's being bolstered by the... No, it just means that it's rising. Okay, Kane will come forward, and it's going to take some massive fire. I'm going to push Green forward into the attack. It's very unlikely that the... Let's push Lockwood forward. This is a perfect time to flank. They're actually shooting at Rugg. Rugg's taking some... fire will get them to pull back. It's unfortunate. I could have stopped that. I don't want these guys to move too much though, because they're a little bit weak as it is. It's just the price you pay for having Union soldiers. Alright, now let's move this guy. These guys are firing a little bit at Ramseur. Let's move them a little bit more forward. Get more fire in. We have 2 brigades firing at each other right now. Alright, 2 brigades stacked firing at Iverson. He's coming even more forward. Just want everyone firing at Iverson. Now, McDougal. Time has come. Rally your forces. Move out. Now, I even want the Iron Brigade. I think... Let's venture out a little bit here. Just to get... to just pound Ramseur from 3 sides at the same time. Okay. We are being flanked. Rebel brings more guns on the field, sir. It must be the artillery of Johnston's division. Yep, but we're about to counter that. And I'm pretty confident that by the time our guns get up here, we'll be in good position to use them. These guys are just darn slow, though. More guns arriving. Aha, 2nd Corps. So, this is 2nd Corps, so please follow your men. And the guns... Probably we'll get Arnold over here so he can help out with Ramseur and all that. But otherwise, I'm not going to worry as much about the guns. We're just going to put everybody on Benner's Hill. Did I miss anybody? I did. Benner's Hill. Okay, maybe Brown will also support in the north. So we'll get him over here as well. And Benner's Hill for the rest. I'm assuming Locke can hold because he much outnumbers all these units. Okay, Ramseur is taking a lot of fire, and is firing into 2/3 cover. They're probably in open cover as well. Louisiana Tigers are down to only 400 units too. Oh my gosh. This is perfect. Just they're being pelted by 3 units at the same time. Now, what we want is a small... I really wish I could like detach skirmishers. That's an option now I've seen in Ultimate General Civil War. Because we need to send somebody against these guys. We need a group that has exceptionally high condition. Probably the Irish Brigade. They don't really have higher condition than anybody else, but Yeah, it's probably going to be the ones I send. Okay, ram sewers falling back. Shall we... I think we'll wait for Iron Brigade to fire at ram sewer again. They were at 1,300 a moment ago, if I'm not mistaken. Now down to about 1,000. It's good. Oh god, Winnegar. I didn't pay attention. We lost some more guns there. You know what? That's okay, though. We're just going to keep firing at Iverson. Get everyone to fire at him. Actually, you know what? McDougal just advanced right over the top of him. As soon as O'Neill's on this mountaintop, Lockwood should fire at him. Gonna have to get these guys stop a little bit short of the action. I really need a unit. Okay, Brooke, come on, somebody. God, you guys gotta push quickly. You will support. O'Neill's already breaking, I see. Yeah, we need more men. Oh, yes. And these guys are part of 2nd Corps? They are. Okay, so let's keep 2nd Corps all the way to the right. I might shift everyone else back in. These guys don't need to spread out too much. This will be 12th Corps, and then we'll get 2nd Corps over to the right to really fold up around. If we can, we'll frickin' encircle. That would be amazing. Hey, Candy, you gotta move forward. We gotta keep pushing on these guys. Don't let them just... They're not really holding good lines anyway, but we got too many groups right here. We gotta just push forward. Duel's pushing forward here. Green, you'll be the one who holds just for now, while we wait for everyone to come up. You just hold Lockwood. You're about to be fired on. I might even have you fall back. I don't want you to get engaged by everyone all at the same time. Yeah, I think that was a good call. Don't want him to lose his conditioning and all that too early. So McDougal at the run. Get up to Iverson. This is going to cause a lot of people to be very nervous because of flanking, etc. Kane, blast Iverson. Green, blast Iverson. Now, General Sykes of the 5th Corps has arrived with Ares Division. Very good. We're going to need them in a moment, but not quite yet. Yeah, we're going to try to wipe through all these guns. Okay, Lockwood, you push... It's a very tough, slim margin here. We want them just far enough on the hilltop to be able to fire at these guys, but not so far that they actually... Okay. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh god, these guns got completely wiped out. That's not good. It's because I was really aggressive moving them forward, but I don't know what good they really do from a distance anyway. I'd much rather have them up. Now, we see Daniels. This is our moment to move forward. Go. You're at a run. Good. You stay where you are because you have no conditioning whatsoever. You also good. We're going to wait for them to react to Iron Brigade, and then Ruger will also charge forward. Kane. Okay, stay where you are. Green. Good. We need McDougal. So Green, we'll just do bounding. We'll do some bounding here. Damn, Lockwood broke. It's because these guys in the east just keep pelting us to pieces. So we'll just give them what for. General Barnes' division of 5th Corps has arrived. Yep. We already have those guys moving. Let's have you move forward as well. We'll have at least one person on this ridgetop because all the rest of our guns are getting blown to pieces in the middle. And I want 12th Corps. You're already here. Gosh, you're right where I need you. And you are the commander? Yep. So, yeah, go ahead and move over here. Shift a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Charge them. It's a long ways to go, but if we can break these guys, it'd be very important. So it looks like the artillery arrived ahead of Johnson. Oh, they're coming from that. That's not good. That's not arriving from the north. But if we can just kill the artillery first. Hopefully. If not, at least we have some backup brigades arriving finally. Okay, I don't know what you're doing, but just stop. McDougal's routing. Kane is the one, is the anchor now holding us. So this is just going to be a quick charge. Okay. You know what? Stop. Fire. fire. Yeah, that looks good. Green will retreat. McDougal is retreating. Where are you, 12th Corps? Help out these guys. Okay, we'll continue to roll them up then. We could take Blucher's Knoll, but where are our objectives? I don't see any objective except for Benner's Hill, which is, I think, very reasonable at this point that we hold that. Yeah. And is this part of 2nd Corps as well? No, it's a new one. Right, I didn't read the notice, of course, otherwise I'd know that. You guys just head directly north. They've already kind of shifted away from the west. I mean, we fold them up. We'll keep doing that. This is a little devastating for us. We're losing a lot of forces. I think it's mainly we're retreating a lot more than I prefer, rather than actually losing forces. We're not really losing them. We're just they're retreating before we can really hold the lines. Still not good, but it's not as bad as actually losing them. I don't think it's like casualties as much as it is just people retreating. And this is good. We got into good cover, and we're blasting these guys. Brown is taking some big damage. That's good to see. Now Stewart's going to be a tough cookie. Let's get 2nd Corps over here to reinforce those guys. Lockwood has recovered a bit, so let's get him back over the crest. No, I think we need... Oh, well, Lockwood's actually part of 12th Corps, right? He is. So no, we're going to keep him here. If we can, push him up. Who's here? Cross? Well, Cross has done a gosh darn good job. And there's Ramseur. Remember, we originally had 1,300. We really need... Okay, Ruger, this is your job. Kane's going to step forward and fire. They're going to take a volley, and then you're on them. You're just going to hit them with everything you got. Charge and all.